Yep, you already know what it is. I ain't even gonna hold y'all up with any extracurricular bullshit. We're gonna get straight to the motherfucking meat and potatoes. Alright, so now we back with the whole reason why I keep asking that question. Now, I always say, there's something you wanna know, all you gotta do is ask. So I asked a couple of questions. Let's find out what the answers to those questions were.
Yes. In most unions, a sitting president or secretary-treasurer can support candidates, but there are important limits, especially under laws like the Labor Management Reporting and Disclosure Act, LMRDA. They can endorse or campaign as private individuals. They cannot use union funds, resources, or staff to support a candidate. They must not give one candidate an unfair advantage using their official position. Union communications, like newsletters or official emails, must remain neutral unless equal access is given. So the key distinction is personal support versus using union power resources. If you want, I can break this down for your specific union or situation.
All right, now, two things I want to point out here, right? Number 3, bulletin point. They must not give one candidate an unfair advantage using their official position. They must not give one candidate an unfair advantage using their official position. But these birds don't speak English. Bullet point number 4. Union communications like newsletters, that would qualify as a newsletter, or official emails must remain neutral unless equal access is given. So the key distinction is personal support versus using union power and resources. Why is that important? Why? Because they must not give one candidate an unfair advantage using their official position. However, endorsed by President Yvonne Armstrong, Secretary Treasurer Veronica Turner Biggs, and 1199's entire top leadership team, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like somebody's giving one candidate an unfair advantage using their official positions. But you know what? I know a lot of people are going to be, well, what does that prove? Or that's just So for those of you that were actually wondering, I'm going to go ahead and let my digital assistant read the laws and sections to you.
Yes. Here are the key sections of the Labor Management Reporting and Disclosure Act, LMRDA, that apply. 1. Section 401G, use of union funds, prohibits using union money or resources to promote any candidate. Exact principle. Union funds cannot be used to support or oppose anyone in an election. This is the main rule restricting officers. 2. Section 401C, fair election safeguards, requires equal treatment of candidates. If a union allows campaigning through its communication channels, it must provide equal access, prevents favoritism by leadership. 3. Section 101A1, equal rights of members, guarantees members equal rights to nominate candidates and vote, also supports fairness and participation during elections. 4. Section 609, prohibition of retaliation, makes it illegal to discipline or retaliate against members for exercising their election rights, like supporting a candidate. Important takeaway. Union officers, president, secretary, treasurer, etc., can support candidates personally, but Section 401G is the key line. They cannot use union resources, money, or their official authority to influence the election. If you want, I can also show how courts or the Department of Labor interpret these sections in real cases.
Woo! Boy, let me tell you something. I'm happier than a pig in shit right now. My question is this. What more do we all as a collective, that 3%, aka the sons and daughters of the apocalypse, because we riding on their ass, but what more we got to show you to actually prove to you exactly what's going on in this union with the current administration? I literally, in the last videos, provided the letter from the Department of Labor as well as the letter from the candidate that filed charges with the Department of Labor because of corruption during the last election. And then I made a video about Ferris Flyer lying about the reason for the re-election. And here we are again. And El Presidente, Senora Ivan Armstrong, you're using your position of power, ma'am, to endorse a candidate. Oh, Secretary Veronica Turner Biggs, you're using your position of power and you're giving one candidate a unfair advantage over the rest. So again, when I say without truth and transparency, there'll never be trust. And clearly, as I've just shown you and provided from their own fucking words and showed you the law straight from the horse's mouth, what these individuals are doing. And they've been doing it for years and they've been doing it at every location. People are just tired of it and now they're starting to pull their card. And trust me when I tell you, I'm working on getting the actual documentation about the alleged funds that were misappropriated by Mr. then President George Gresham, because and to the individual that wrote that article, I would love for you to reach out to me, because I always wonder, were there any funds that changed hands that actually prompted that article? Because from that article, everything in the Post and everything else came out. But as we know, there was no wrongdoing found. But on that note, I'm going to leave this here because I know I have a habit of going in and in and in. So yeah, y'all chew on that and you tell me what the fuck is going on. But yeah, it is what it is. Realize the real lies. And transparency forces accountability. Y'all keep your eyes to the stars. Keep that head on a swivel, because it is a dirty, diabolical game that these demons are playing, and we are in their house, aka the diabolical den of demons, aka the Viper's Pit. So, moves on y'all. But just know, just like y'all like to play games and play in our faces, well, we out here collecting receipts. And not only are we collecting them, but we sharing them. The whole 3%, the whole sons and daughters of the apocalypse. We are coming together like Voltron up in this motherfucker. Y'all be safe out there and have a wonderful weekend.